Hey guys, Tyler here. This is going to be the first of my new segment where I'm going to be playing a little bass, showing you guys kind of the stuff that I've been working on, at least to start. So kind of a little back to this. This is the first, in my opinion, like real stringed instrument that I've ever played. I did play piano, and I know for all you music lovers out there, you do know that the piano is a stringed instrument, but I don't really consider it a stringed instrument in the same way that the bass is. So I'm not counting that. I'm saying this is the first real stringed instrument that I've ever played. It's definitely been a bit of a leap for me. I've mainly played woodwinds before this. So it's been definitely an interesting few weeks. And that said, I have been playing for a few weeks at this point, so I have a few skills, but definitely very much, in the very beginning stages of my learning. So one of the things that I wanted to do when I got my bass was, of course, like learn really easy songs that I could play and like teach myself to play and have fun playing. And that was one of the issues for me when I was playing other instruments is be like, oh, I don't want to practice. I don't know this song. I don't care about this song. And on bass, it's like, oh, well, I love this song and that song, and I'm going to learn to play them on bass. So that's something that I ran into right away. One of my big inspirations was Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. So I, of course, am like, oh, I've got to learn how to play Iron Maiden. And I'll get to that in a sec, but that's not so easy. Let me tell you, that guy is crazy. But as one of my big inspirations, I have been mainly playing with my fingers. Haven't really mastered the pick yet, not super great with it, but I do enjoy finger picking, so I'm going to stick with that for now. And I'm sure plenty of you out there will be telling me, Tyler, you got to play with a pick. It's so much easier, this, that, and the other thing. Well, I'm not going to prevent myself from learning to play pick. I'm going to definitely try and learn how to play with it. But for now, I think I'm just going to stick with finger picking because that's what's working for me best so far. So I'm going to switch so you can kind of see the bass here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so unfortunately, I know you can't quite see like all of my hands, but I'm going to prioritize my frets over my hand for this little bit here. So the first thing I did when I got my bass is like I wasn't like I'm gonna learn how to play scales. I'm gonna learn how to play this and the other thing. I'm like, no, I want to learn to play a song that I recognize. So I think every bassist ever learns to play this song like first off, and it's Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, and it's super easy on bass. Literally, first day I had my bass, I learned how to play it. And so this is how the main riff of it goes. It goes. So pretty easy, right? But hold on. There are two other parts that you have to learn to play this song. So then you've got that's the regular riff. Then you've got, which really changes it up. And then the hardest part, the last part, which goes. And then back into the regular riff. So that one was a really tough one for me to learn, but I honestly got to say it was a huge thing for me to be able to be like, oh, I can actually play a song. I can actually do something on my bass. It was super cool for me. So the second song I learned to play, and this actually ties into some of the stuff I've been posting today. If you guys should totally follow me on Tumblr and Twitter and all that good stuff. I'll post the links below for this video. And that actually relates to my first album suggestion for the new series. That's Demon Days by the Gorillaz. It was like such a cool album when I was younger, and it definitely holds up still. But one of the coolest like bass lines that I heard and was like, yeah, that's so cool, was from Feel Good Inc. Off that album. And so for all y'all who don't know how it goes like this. That was a little, fumble in there, but yeah. So I learned that, and that's basically the whole song. There's a couple different parts, but they're a little like they're more in like the fill areas, so that's not a big deal. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun learning to play and playing things that I can recognize. But like for instance, but that doesn't necessarily get me into exactly where I want to be. For instance, one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs is Run to the Hills, and the bass part for it is very, very hard. And when I say it's very, very hard, I mean not necessarily in terms of notes or, different chord progressions or things like that, more in just how fast it is. Steve Harris is a beast and can play triplets like nobody's business. So you've got like the intro, which just goes like, you're like, okay, that's easy to play. But then it's just got like these, like, and I can't even play nearly fast enough to keep up with Steve Harris's hands and the rest of the galloping triplets for the song. So I've been kind of working on it, but I see I have a long way to go. But being able to like play stuff that you recognize, like Iron Man, stuff like that. It's such a good feeling, and you're like, oh man, it's so cool. So I guess let me change this view here real quick and say, for all of you who have been like not sure whether you want to learn a new instrument or an instrument at all, I would highly recommend you do. I literally decided one day, I was like, I want to play bass. So the next day I went and got a bass and like an amp and everything. And I mean, I had the ability to do that, but I know for not everyone has the means to be able to just go, buy an instrument. So check your local music shop. A lot of places you can rent. I know I rented instruments when I was in band in like high school and stuff. And you can do it fairly cheaply, and you can kind of give yourself an amount of time to figure out whether this is something you want to do or not. You can figure out whether that's something you want to pursue or not. So that's a really cool opportunity, and I would highly suggest it. And or you can like get like a student or a starter instrument. A lot of times they're just gonna be a little more beat up, or not quite as high quality. I mean, you can sound great on a starter instrument. It's just all about your level of skill. And of course, better instruments will make you sound better, but only if you are good to start with. So, you have to get to that level. So there's no point in buying, some crazy nice instrument if you don't have the skill level to match it. So yeah, I would highly recommend everyone do that. So I'm going to be kind of cataloging my playing and all that kind of stuff. That's where I am right now, able to play those songs. Obviously, there's other stuff I'm working on in terms of like, like articulation and things like that. But I'll get into those in later videos. I'll also be playing other instruments. I'm not just going to be playing bass in these videos. So in case this isn't your cup of tea, then you can look out for my other videos. And I'll, of course, still be doing reviews and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit. I hope you enjoyed my playing, even when it wasn't super great. It's fun to be a beginner again, I gotta say. With that, I will let you guys go. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Alright, I think that was a lot better, actually.